Welcome to this week's session with the Putnam County District Library, Guiding Ohio Online Grant. This is Shelley, and this week we are looking at Google Maps, and we're going to look at Google Maps from the aspect of trying to plan a trip and maybe looking at different locations and how you can look at the traffic flow and so forth. So I've got a second screenshot here where we're going to look at sharing your location, how you can drop a pin onto the map and then measure your distance and customize a list with different locations that you might want to visit, as well as looking at the traffic flow. So I'm going to go here to the Google Maps, and I currently have the Google Maps pulled up, and I have it with just the map view, but I wanted you to see how we can change that. We can actually have the terrain turned on. We can actually have the traffic and the terrain both turned on, or you could actually turn one off and just leave the traffic on. However you want. Any of these with the blue box around, that's what it's actually going to be showing. So up here at the top, then we have our where you would put in your directions if you knew from one location to the next. But I want to show how you can actually share your own personal location by going up here to the three drop-down bars, and right here is where the location sharing is at. If I go to location sharing right now, I have it turned off because obviously I don't want the world to see where my physical location is at. But if I click here on location sharing, it's going to give me the option to come up where I could manage my location. I could tell the computer that it's okay to share my location out, as well as I could actually go out and get the app. A lot of people share their location maybe with their phone, but you can do the same thing here with Google Maps. Now, when you have a map pulled up, if you simply click on a location, that will drop a pin. And notice then it comes up down here at the bottom and actually shows me that location. If I click again, it changes my pin over. Notice my pin now has my latitude, longitude coordinates or GPS coordinates that that are available. And obviously then it's going to take an individual to that exact location. When it does that, then you'll see that all of these other options pop up as well with the restaurants, hotels, bars, so forth that are near that location to help you search. But if I click here again, I'm going to drop my pin. And when I drop my pin, I have the option here, and it's going to actually go in, and I will now have the ability to actually measure my distance. And I can do that by clicking, and then if I click away from this pin, I can click and say measure my distance. And when I say measure my distance, then what it's going to do, it's going to give me the option to drag, and I can click and drag, and it's going to then route and tell me from one location to the next. I'm going to clear it here because I clicked wrong. Measure my distance. And when I measure my distance, I can then notice what happens is it comes up with this line. It's actually measuring my distance. I can continue to move this, or I could click, drop, click again. Notice, okay, so I wanted to have a stop in there. And as it's doing that, it's putting the measurement of how far I'm traveling and showing that distance from here to here and so forth. So now I can see exactly how far I am traveling and moving. So if you were obviously planning a trip, or maybe if you were going to be in a city where you're walking from one location to the next, you'd be able to see the distance from one place that you might visit to the next. Over here as well, we have the option of, I'm going to go and I'm going to click and show you how you can actually, let's close this up here for a minute, and I'm going to drop down. Notice I clicked on the drop down, and I have here my home and my work. I can set those locations as well as I can click and I can go in. I can look at, I'm going to change this over here for a minute, and let's click away here. I'm going to share, I can share or embed my map with others as well. If I, for some reason, wanted to share this map, I would have that option that I would be able to share it with other people that might be traveling with me by sharing this link to them. I would simply copy this link and then I could send that out to others as well. I have here with my map, I now have the, I'm going to stop measuring my distance because what I want to do is I want to actually go here and I am going to click on this, put my drop down, and I'm going to say, okay, I want to travel from here to, I'm going to say I'm going to travel over down here. We're going to travel over around on this map. So as I travel around on my map from one location, now I'm going to change this off of, I don't like this. I'm going to go to traffic because what I want you to see is notice what has happened with my traffic. I see how it has light traffic in this area. So in the area where I am currently, there's light traffic, as well as, notice here I have my road closure and I have a road closure again here, as well as I have these icons here that is showing me, notice right down here, this is my live traffic. So this is fast moving traffic. This is a little bit slower moving traffic. And then we can even get to the point that notice right in here, it is slower traffic. This is the live. If I want, I can click here and I can say typical traffic. So on, say, a Monday at 9 a.m., this is the typical traffic flow versus, well, let's see what the traffic flow might be at 6:50 p.m. Notice how my traffic flow changed. It actually has gotten so that it's a slower traffic flow in through here now. So that is then how you can look at your traffic flow. And then the only other thing that we had talked about is we had looked at, and we're talking about, we can look at how we can travel in different ways. So if we wanted to, I clicked up here at the top, close this up again just one more time. So when I go to my directions and I click, notice it comes up and I have, if it's by transit or walking or biking, I can act, or even by air flight, I can change my means of travel. And this can be helpful, like again, especially maybe if you're in a city, you can change this over to walking as well. Go back here one more time to the menu. And if I do, again, I showed you how you can share, and then I can actually go in and edit the map as well. If there's something about the map that I don't agree with, I can click here on wrong pen, missing place, so forth. I can make all of those changes there. And then I believe the last thing that I was going to look at is I'm going to go back here and we're going to, let's hide all of these one more time. And I was going to go in here. If I go to actual Google Map and I go in and I say, I want to your places. And then here is in your places, because I skipped over how to customize a list. And in your places is where you could have it set for your home and your work. These are different ones that I've saved. And notice they do say private. So right now, this list is only viewable to myself. If I go to visited, these are places that I have at some point maybe set up, as well as different maps that I along the way have looked into. But if I go back here to saved, you can go to new list, and I could actually say I was, for some reason, I'm going to Nashville. I could go create, and then what I will do is I can add a place. So I could go in here and I could type in a location in Nashville, and I'm just going to type in, I think what is in Nashville. Let's see. What do I want? Let's go to. Um, we're going to add a place. Let's just go. Well, actually, you know what? Instead of Nashville, let's just type Liz Columbus, because at Columbus, if we go add a place, and I say, okay, yep, we want to go here. This, so I've got the Red Robin Burgers and Brews. I've got Red Roof Plus, and these are different locations that I would maybe want to visit and go around to. Then I would have this, and I could then actually go in. I can put a description, and I can actually save this list and share this list then out with other people that maybe would be traveling with me as well. And then we would all have this same list. So that is how you actually go in and customize a list. And if I go back here, notice now I have two lists, one with Columbus that is actually has information, the other does not. So I don't have any information here, so I can just simply go delete. Now if I go to this list, this list actually has the different locations showing. So that is Google Maps, and how you could plan a trip, how you can measure your distance, how you can make a custom list, and how you can even check the traffic flow in terms of live or in terms of a certain time of day when you know you might be traveling through an area. Next week, we are going to be looking at how you can create smart clips with Google. Hope everyone has a good week.